Hi friends, welcome to my channel. This is Mughal Dharma. Thanks for clicking on this video. Friends, in this video we are going to discuss 4 important aspects that will hold you back from speaking English. If you focus on them, you will definitely speak English clearly and confidently. Before we dive into the video, friends, I have a small request. Please subscribe the channel, like this video and hit the bell icon. Now let's get started. Friends, how are you doing? I hope you are doing great. Friends, everyone wants to speak English. Everyone wants to express well in English language. Everyone likes to speak English confidently, but sometimes we struggle to speak in English. Sometimes we face problems to speak in English. There are 4 reasons. Because of them, we are unable to speak English well. So, if you overcome them, then you will definitely speak English confidently. If you focus on them, if you overcome them, then you will definitely speak English well. Now, let's discuss them one by one. The first one is Anglophobia. Anglophobia means fear of speaking in English. Many people, they want to learn English, they want to speak English, but they fear speaking in English. They fear speaking in English in front of others, so that they are unable to speak English well. Even though they have lot of knowledge on grammar, they are unable to speak English well because of this reason. They have fear. That fear doesn't allow them speak English well, so that fear holds them back from speaking in English. So, if you are facing this same problem, dear my friend, don't fear speaking in English, because if you want to speak English well, then you have to overcome this problem. Many people have this problem, so that they are unable to speak English well. This fear becomes big barrier to many people, so that even though they know how to speak in English, even though they know how to express in English, they have fear. Because of this fear, they are unable to speak, they are unable to talk good English, they are unable to express well, they are unable to talk to others in English language. So, dear my friend, don't fear speaking in English. If you want to communicate in English language, if you want to develop English language, if you want to speak English well, you have to face this problem, and then you have to remove Anglophobia. Then only you will be able to speak English well. Then only you will be able to express well. Then you speak English well. Now, let's move to the next one. The second one is hesitation. Hesitation is another problem. Many people face this problem. Many of us have hesitation problem. We hesitate to speak in English. We hesitate to talk to others. We hesitate to communicate with others, so that we are unable to express well, we are unable to talk good English, we are unable to interact with others. So, if you want to speak English well, you should not hesitate, you should not hesitate to speak with others. So, if you hesitate, you don't speak confidently, you don't speak clearly, you don't express well in English language, so that you make lot of mistakes. So, because of those mistakes, you get stuck, and then you feel nervous, and then you take many pauses. So, that's how your communication goes in a bad manner. So that if you want to speak well, if you want to communicate well, if you want your communication goes well, then you have to stop hesitating and then start speaking confidently. If you want to speak English confidently, then you have to remove hesitation. Then only you will be able to speak English well. Many people hesitate to speak in English language so that they are unable to express well, they are unable to communicate well. They cannot speak English well, even though they have a lot of desire to speak in English, they cannot express well because they hesitate. They hesitate to speak in English so that they are unable to speak English well. So, dear my friend, if you want to speak English well, then you have to remove hesitation. When you remove hesitation from your life, then your life starts in a beautiful manner. Then you will speak English well, you will express well, you will communicate well, you will interact with others very nicely. Now let's move to the next one. The third one is afraid of making mistakes. Many people are afraid of making mistakes so that they are unable to speak English well, because when they want to speak in English, if they make mistakes, then they stop speaking. They think that if they make mistakes, people will laugh at them, people will make fun of them, and then people will criticize them, people will insult them. Because of these reasons, many people don't like to speak English, and then they don't express anything in English language in front of others because they are afraid of making mistakes. When they want to speak in English, if they know they are going to make mistakes, so then they stop speaking because they are afraid of making mistakes. They get scared to make mistakes so that they are unable to express well, they are unable to speak well. So, dear my friend, if you want to speak English well, if you want to communicate well, if you want to express in English language, then you don't have to worry about mistakes. If you really want to improve your English language, if you really want to communicate well in English language, if you really want to speak English fluently and confidently, then you don't have to worry about your mistakes. Mistakes are part of our journey. Because of them, we become better. We have to make mistakes, and then we have to learn from those mistakes. After that, we have to become better. We have to improve our English language by making mistakes. This is the process. But many people don't like this process because it's very uncomfortable, it's very painful, so that they don't like this process, they don't like to make mistakes. They want to speak English perfectly. So, no one speaks English perfectly. Even native speakers make mistakes. So, don't worry about mistakes, only have to focus on communication. However you speak, it doesn't matter. How you communicate, it matters. In order to speak well, you have to focus on communication, not problems. But many people, they like to focus on problems. Many people tend to focus on problems. When you focus on problems, you have more problems. Those problems become your barriers. Then you cannot grow, you cannot develop your English language. So that, dear my friend, don't focus on mistakes, don't focus on problems. Then you have to focus on possibilities. Don't focus on mistakes, you have to focus on communication. So that is when you will be able to learn English language very fast. If you focus on mistakes, you will make a lot of mistakes. If you focus on progress, if you focus on communication, you will learn English very fast, and then you will speak English clearly, you will speak English precisely, you will speak English accurately. Now let's move to the next one. The next one is lack of environment. Friends, if you want to speak English well, if you want to learn English very fast, you must have good English environment. You must have good English environment around us. If you have good English environment around you, then you will speak English well, you will learn English very fast, because you spend time with people who speak English every day. You live in environment where English is spoken. Because of that environment, you interact with them in English language, and you hear a lot of English language, and then you listen to people. By listening to them, you learn many things in English language. When you have English environment, we learn English very fast. But if you have English environment, really you are very lucky. So use it to speak English well. If you don't have English environment, you don't need to worry about it. If you don't have English environment, then you have to create it. So in this modern era, we have many opportunities, we have many possibilities to get that environment. If you have mobile, you can watch videos in English, you can read English content, and then you can watch news in English language, and then you can listen to songs which in English language. So this is how we have to create English environment around us. And then we have to speak to our friends on our mobile in English language. When you get free time, then use those applications to improve English language. Spend time on those applications to learn English language, to develop your vocabulary, and then you have to improve your communication by using those applications. This is how we have to do in order to improve our English language. So that's it, friends. So if you focus on them properly, you will definitely speak English well. So don't fear, and then don't hesitate, and then don't be afraid of making mistakes. If you don't have good environment, then create good environment, and then you have to practice a lot. You have to spend time on reading, listening, and speaking every day. Make it a habit of speaking in English language. You will definitely speak English clearly. That's it, friends, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.